Hello, everybody, and welcome to Timebanking Tales, a Storybank, our video anthology series with my special guest today from Augusta, Maine, Stacey Jacobsohn. Hi, Stacey.
Hi, BJ. Love
Oh,
you
goodness,
bunches.
I know, this is so fun. How cold is it in Maine? Is it
Oh,
freezing?
it was kind of nice today.
Oh, nice is what?
Yesterday was around zero, but today we got up to I think 37.
Oh, wow, wow,
It was
wow.
a heat wave.
Today
A
we got
heat
up to
wave.
80 and I got
I
heat
went
stroke.
out and worked on the car. Yeah.
Oh. So, Stacey, tell all these people, I hope there's thousands of people that are going to watch this when these are released. Tell people who is Stacey Jacobsohn.
Well, I'm the director of the Time Initiative of Maine. We are a unique kind of time bank, still growing in that, there were a lot of time banks in Maine at one time. And then a lot of them kind of fell apart.
Mm,
So those people, when they heard about us in the Waterville area, which is like central Maine, um, were messaging us saying, can I join your time bank? Because I lost mine. Uh, and I said, pretty soon we were up to covering like 10 counties. And so I
wow.
said, why don't we just make it simple and be statewide? So we are unusual in that we're not gathered all in one place.
Gotcha.
So there's less of the face-to-face thing. So we have to kind of handle things differently here.
Okay.
So it's an
And
experience.
the woman behind the scenes, who is Stacey? What does Stacey love to do?
Well, I'm an artist and a
Woohoo!
musician and a writer, um, acting,
Artist, musician, and writer.
and actress.
And
Yeah.
oh goodness gracious, you got it all going on.
Yes, and that was how I came to time banking because
Tell me about that.
I went back to school after a divorce. I had run a painting business for fancy painting, artistic, murals and things like that. But that kind of fell apart during my divorce, and
Mm,
then uh, went back to school, and was just wide open. And what am I going to do now? And I have so many interests. It's one reason why I got kicked out of art school at one point, because they told me I had too many interests.
you were just too good, huh?
Yeah. You're
Too
you're
good.
into too many things. Pick one. Pick
Oh
one and be
my.
good at it. Which is the same thing they told me when I went back to school. I said, I've got a lot of interests. I have a lot of art credits. Um, maybe, but I'm interested in more, something that's going to support me.
Right?
Um, and it just seemed that every path I chose was not working. I thought about art therapy, and they said that would be really good for you. Not much work in Maine. And
Mhm. Oh no, it looks like we are frozen. There you go. Sorry. I
yeah,
heard you say not much work in Maine and then everything froze for me. So with art
right.
therapy. Okay.
So, yeah, so maybe not art therapy because I really love Maine and I wanted to stay here.
Okay.
Um, so it's like that's kind of like a big city thing, I guess. But I don't know. You know, social sciences. I at the time I signed up for some creative writing, and my writing just took off.
Hmm.
I had dabbled in it, in college, but mostly focused on the art and built that into a business, and that was great. But there was so many other parts of me
Mm.
that not all of them are make money. Yeah, you want to be a writer, okay, making money at that. You kind of
Difficult
have
to
to,
do.
you have to write what other people want you to write, and I just
That's true.
Right. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And so during my divorce, I bartered with my lawyer. I'd
Well,
never I'd never bartered for anything major like that.
wow.
And what really struck me about the exchange was that there was so much respect between the two of us.
Nice.
She respected what I was doing. I was, painting her a very fancy sign
Mm.
for her attorney, outside the door, all marble engraved, marble. So it was like 3D looking, like it looked like chiseled
Hmm.
marble.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I made it as complicated as I possibly could, but just because I knew it was going to be a difficult divorce. And it worked out really great. And I was, back in school, writing again, just really engaged in my classes. And I kept thinking, what if there was a way where you could like barter in a circle, where,
Ooh.
you didn't have to do a one-on-one
Right.
exchange. Because in barter, it's so limited. You
It
have
is.
to have what they want, and they'll
You got to
only
want what I have, and I got to want what you have. And we got
then
to
it's
determine.
haggling over how much my time is worth. And I was like, it'd be great to just have a free-flowing but coordinated community effort, and I was looking into the downtown renovations they were doing at the time. A lot of Fort Western here is, we got a
Mhm.
lot of historical places around in Augusta, Maine, um, where a lot of stuff took place. So I was really interested in that. And I kept thinking, every path that I go down is just not really going to support me, so I can't justify, trying to make money as an artist. I'm like, you got to invest so much, just effort and schmoozing, and I'm not much into the schmooze. It's just so I googled barter exchange,
Okay.
and the first thing that came up was time banking.
And this was 13, 14 years ago?
2007,
Yep. Okay.
roughly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I was in the honors program, and a mentor of mine um, mentioned that there was a time bank that had just started up. She'd seen an article. She said, she put a bug in my ear. Why don't you go offer to be an intern and learn about it? Get credit for it. I said,
Wow.
oh, that's a great idea. Because then I can
Oh.
figure out, how to start one. Because I wanted one, down in the Augusta area, and this was like 30 miles north. So, I did that for like a year and a half, and I learned, everything about, exposing the different parts of yourself and letting in things that you had said, oh, I can't do that. It doesn't make any money.
Ah, there you go.
But really exploring every aspect of myself. And I also learned how not to start a time bank.
Now that's like really important. I've not heard that story yet. You ought to write a paper on that one. How
I
not to start a time
and I
bank.
have, and I have, because
Ooh, ooh.
because all the while I was working at and doing time banking, over the next uh 5 years,
Hmm.
I was also studying it and getting credit for that. So I was
Yes. You
so
wrote your thesis on time
I wrote
banking.
my thesis on time banking.
And
Right.
that.
So things would happen that would confuse me, as the coordinator, and then I would
Mm.
study it and
Oh,
write
wow.
a paper about it. I mean, really dissect what happened during this exchange, whether it was good or whether it was bad. But, there was some, one of the assignments was pick an ethical dilemma. I go, ooh, I got lots of those. Where there's more than one good thing to do as the leadership team.
So, but speaking of picking, why don't you pick a story like your favorite story, or a funny story, or an unusual story, or the weirdest. Pick a story and share with us about
Well,
a story about time
I
banking.
wanted to pick a story that was like organically only in a time bank kind of
Okay,
thing.
cool.
Um, so I met this woman that came to orientation. She was the only one that really deeply got it right off the bat, and she was the only one that had done the homework that I asked to do.
Wow, cool.
She had watched. I just said watch these 6 videos, before you come. I got them all on a playlist. Just here's the link to the
Cool.
channel. Just watch, like 6 videos, and then come with some questions.
Nice.
She was the only one that did her homework.
Hmm.
And everyone was kind of looking at her like, she had cerebral palsy. She came in, on a walker. She had a lot of difficulty, getting in the home. It was only a couple of steps, but she really she had a spark in her eye, but she was going through a crisis, right when she came in. And she was, talked into leaving her apartment and going into assisted living.
Okay.
So we helped her move, so a lot of people met her and helped her distribute, her things that she wanted to donate to the Time Bank. We also noticed that she wasn't being treated so nicely by this facility, that they sort of had pegged her as unintelligent or something. And I've picked up on this with a lot of people who look at people in wheelchairs,
right,
and think that there's nothing upstairs.
right. That there's something fundamentally wrong with them mentally.
Yeah. Don't talk to them. They're scary. So we got involved, and I have always been kind of an introvert in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't like conflict, in other words.
Okay, right.
I'll tend to back away. So this was the first time banking had empowered me to, step up when I saw injustice.
Nice.
So I actually, they had told her something like, she couldn't have her power chair there because there wasn't enough room, or I don't know. But I know, that law says you can. And so I got some help from a mechanic in the Time Bank who helped me load her power chair into the back of my hatchback.
Nice.
And I drove that into the building and brought it to her.
She must have been elated.
She was. But still, there were a lot of problems there, and we tried meeting with the administrator.
Right.
We tried complaining to the state. There were a lot of things wrong with that place. And she was isolated out on this country road, so there was nowhere she could go, to just go to a store or something, just to get out.
Right.
There was nowhere to go. It was way out in the country. And so we went to visit a place and found her a different assisted living, and met a really nice administrator.
Nice.
And it sounded great. The place was much cleaner and nicer. So we decided to get her transferred over there, and we had everything arranged, and, we needed to move her stuff. And at the time, I just had this small hatchback. So I asked my friend, the mechanic, who had helped her before, if he could assist in any way, if he had a vehicle, to help us move her stuff. It wasn't a lot of stuff, but, it was like a bureau, things like that. Yeah. The only car he had working at a time, and, this is the way mechanics are, they was working other people's cars and not their own. So there's lots of cars in the driveway, none of them running, except for a limousine.
So you moved her in a limousine.
It was the
Oh,
most organic, perfect way to say goodbye
yes,
to that
yes,
staff was to
yeah.
say, "Yeah, she's got
Pull
some
up in a
friends."
limo. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Come on, girl. Oh my God. I always say time banking changes lives.
It
Boy, if
was
that didn't
it
touch
was
her.
what you say, a priceless moment.
Yes, yes, a priceless moment.
And
Oh
that's
man.
what time banking is. It's about priceless moments
It
like
really is. And they're one after another, after another, after another. I try to keep these about 15 minutes, and we're at 15 minutes. And I just feel like we could talk for another hour. But I want to close by asking you the question, if you had a message for time bankers, either in Maine or the whole US or even the world, because we're a worldwide conglomerate of people that do this all over. What would your message to time bankers be, Stacey?
um everybody's got a passion. And when you're trying to do something to help others or help the world, consider adding time banking to your ideas because it's going to amplify everything that you do. It doesn't matter what social ill you have, whether it's natural disasters or voter rights or anything environmental work, helping people. Time banking can add to any program that you have going. So look into it,
It really
how it
can.
can fit and help you
It
because
really can.
it's like turning on the gas. We're cooking with gas.
Yeah,
When you
right?
add time banking to the mix,
It
everything
makes
just goes boom and
makes a
accelerates.
big difference. For those of you watching, if you're in Augusta, Maine, please join Stacy. You can do that by going to the URL that's scrolling across the screen, which is https:// maintime.timebanks.org. Stacy, it went far too quick, but thank you so much for giving us some of your time and letting us know what your passions are and telling us a little bit more about time banking in Augusta.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you. Bye
having
bye,
me.
everybody.